Welcome back, everybody, to Reshuffle Madness, brought to you by WePlay and ES.bet. We're here with Team Empire versus Final Tribe, which is going to be our second series of the day, and then we have a last series, which I believe is Alliance versus Odium, and that one's going to be the upper bracket matchup. But this is also in the, I guess, technically the upper bracket. It is the very first series for these two teams because we couldn't get to them yesterday, in part because of some overlap with the ESL qualifiers.
That makes sense. It should be a really good match, though. Final Tribe recently qualified to the minor, I believe. So they were minimum minor, or is it the major? God, I don't even know, man. I'm confused.
So it was Alliance, Secret, and
yeah, it wasn't Final Tribe.
Not Final Tribe, but
there was like another one that got in that was slightly NIP.
Yes, Ninjas of Pajamas, PPD's new team. So those are the three teams that got to the major. Unfortunately, Final Tribe fell one series short. Right,
Gotcha.
they were super close.
I think I remember seeing that on social media. So basically, it should be an exciting match for them. I mean, they have very good players right now. Frost, Chessie, Simfon, Hanskin, Era. Is this any different than their previous roster? It's the same thing, right? Maybe they added Chessie or something. Who did they swap out? Is their carry? I guess. Or Frost was playing 2 then.
They had Nox. Scroll down. He was definitely.
Pablo.
Oh, Pablo, that's right. Oh, Nox is Frost. That's his two names.
It was Pablo, though. They added,
Pablo.
It looks like Era moved to support. They added Chessie.
Right.
That's exactly what happened. So, okay, interesting. But first match that these guys get to play, it is potentially a super good match, but I'm not really sure how they'll play. Empire is a little different as well. I think I haven't watched them play since their roster swap, but Miposhka playing offlane now instead of a 5 position. A little sad because he's a consistent fantasy score performer as a warder in the 5 position.
Oh, really?
So I'm slightly disappointed to see him move away from that position, but.
Because of the hard 6 role that he takes, he buys all and places all the wards.
He was one of those, like, even if they lose, you're good. You're going to get a lot of fantasy points. So it's it's like that piece of knowledge that I have gone forever. Like, it's just not useful anymore. And it was nice to be able to rely on him at TI6 for hella points. So yeah. But either way, excited to see how he does.
Yeah, new Team Empire roster. This lineup. I mean, Team Empire has long been sort of the growing grounds for any, I would say, newer talent, and then Team Empire has historically been picked apart by Virtus Pro and Na'Vi for whatever best players kind of rise to the surface on these squads, and we'll see if that happens again. But some of these guys are certainly not new. Chappie, Miposhka, even Kuman and Maiden have been around for a while. I have not seen this player, Seiya, I guess is how you're going to say his name.
It's a W at the end, too. I don't know if it's all lowercase on Liquipedia, but I assume his in-game is more accurate. Yeah, not a lot of major history. Looks like he's played a lot this month on Empire, but before that he was on Malarino Esports, and before that Gears of Destruction. He's only got 1,800 total winnings so far, so this is basically his first move up.
Yeah, considering, I mean, have you heard of either of those teams?
Either of those
so
teams.
If neither one of us have heard of those teams, this is pretty much his entrance into Dota, as far as I'm concerned. Those are
Malarino doesn't even have a Liquipedia page, so that's a bad sign. They've got an icon uploaded apparently, but yeah, that's it. Yeah, so never before. This is his first team with a Liquipedia page. Good for him.
Stepping up in the world. Yep. We'll see how he does as the 4 position for Team Empire. I don't think I saw any games from Team Empire. I think they were literally the last team on my list to go and look at replays for, and I didn't get to them.
Understandably, right? There's not too much star power other than Chappie's star power about Shadow Amulets, but if they don't do really well, it's definitely one of the teams that you leave off the list because you don't have a lot of expectations. Doesn't seem like something that might be relevant if there's like billions of games to watch every time there's a qualifier.
Yeah.
So, no surprise.
We're going to start off our draft. Weaver Phoenix for Team Empire, Earthshaker Marana for Final Tribe. So I'm guessing it went Weaver first pick, and then Earthshaker Marana, and then Phoenix? Because I think you respond
Weaver
to the Weaver with Earthshaker.
That's exactly right.
For sure.
Yep.
And Marana's pretty good against Weaver as well, right? Like, you've got the mobility to get away from him. when he puts bugs on you, and then the increased attack speed to be able to kill the bug. You've got a chain stun combo with Earthshaker as well. And I believe when it comes to stats, I'm not sure if you're going to be able to beat him in lane. That obviously depends on the supports a lot. But
I don't know if I'm crazy, but I feel like it's more about whether or not you have a sentry.
Sure.
Because Weaver definitely has higher base damage. It's one of the few base things that he has that are really good. I think he's hitting around 60. Whereas Miranda's like low 50s, I think, or maybe high 40s. I can't remember exactly. But if you have vision of him, he's not going to get Sakuchi trades on you. Basically, is where things get bad. Like if you can invis approach while getting a last hit, get Sakuchi DMs, get a Geminate attack, and then disengage, Miranda's going to lose the trade there. But if she has vision, then I don't think it's a problem at all.
Yeah. Hey, there's another arrow combo: Winter Wyvern, Winter's Curse.
Yeah. Maybe the Swedish team has been watching some Alliance games here.
Also very good against the Weaver.
Or maybe Alliance stole it from the other Swedish team. I'm not sure which.
Could be.
Do you ever feel bad about that? Like, that there's some teams that invent strats, but then they get taken by other teams and popularized by those teams, and then everybody refers to it as those strats, even though it might have been somebody else's cool idea first.
Yeah.
It's kind of depressing and sad, but
feels bad for the innovators of Dota, because so many times those innovators, like, they haven't fully polished their strategy, or maybe, to be perfectly honest, they're just not as good as other teams. So other teams just make the strategy look better as a result.
Because they actually win games more often. Yeah. Could be stuff like that, but I don't know. It's all part of the the cycle, the great machine of Dota. Of Dota pro player talent, I guess. And if you do good enough in those lower teams, you will get picked up, much like Seiyu this game.
You like Seiyu?
I have no idea. We will see.
It
but I'm just
cool.
saying that, like, he did something good apparently on other teams, and that's why he's being snagged here on Empire. Because it's like Empire has, I would say, more often than not had a strong lineup, but it has, like, the brand of Empire is very strong, I would say, compared to the quality of the teams. Between, like, the Twitter and many of the historic TI runs, things like that, I think have absolutely made it still a respectable thing. I guess there's not a lot of teams that have been bad for a long time where I have that same belief, but I do believe that Empire is, like, by all means, like, a very reputable, well-known organization that, regardless of the teams, still a good upgrade for Seiyu and other players.
Yeah, for the longest time, they were literally the third best team in CIS. Like, almost all the time, it would go Na'Vi, and then Virtus Pro, and then Empire. Sometimes
it was the other way around,
yeah,
like
sometimes.
Empire VP, because it wasn't really until, like, the more recent Virtus Pros where they were just like, holy shit, like, it's not a once-in-a-while thing, it's like a all-the-time thing.
And then now we've got a bunch of other CIS organizations popping up in Dota.
Yeah.
Vega's been around for a while, almost as long as Empire.
And they have the coolest logo. They have a shark mascot. Like,
that's
so
good.
It's so awesome. All of these heroes we've seen consistently so far in this tournament. The only thing that's slightly abnormal is a Meepo ban in the second phase, but that's actually one of the highest win rate heroes at Divine and above in game. So I'm not too surprised there. But past that, more Phantom Lancer, more Phoenix.
Yeah.
Tusk is slightly abnormal, I guess, but everything makes sense here, I think. Axe to lane against Phantom Lancer, Phoenix to give really good team fight, Weaver to be strong at laning, but still be covered by strong Phoenix team fight. Phoenix with Axe combo. It's cool to see these, like, little micro synergies. Like, I really appreciate that more and more, seeing those add up in, like, 2 and 3 layers when a draft really makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. I'm looking at this Tusk, and I don't feel great about him.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the only thing that I see that's really effective about him is being able to save heroes, like when they get arrowed or when they get attempted Earthshaker combination. But this really requires you to have an early Blink Dagger, especially against the Earthshaker combo, to be able to, like, you have to not get hit by the AoE stuns, and you have to be able to be there and grab people up in an instant, basically.
Yeah, I see your point. I definitely agree that Tusk looks a little iffy outside of that point, but the point of countering the arrow combos, to me, feels really valuable because I've seen so much impact from it in the last couple, some of the games of this tournament so far, that just something simple like a fissure into an arrow is a guaranteed hero kill, feels broken to me. And all you need is one snowball skill to buy them 3 seconds. Feels like you unbreak something that's broken with a little bit of a counter. It's kind of like having a dispel against something that's really strong. It feels like that to me in some ways. It's definitely kind of weak against PL, in the same vein, but it can also protect the Phoenix Egg with Frozen Sigil. That aspect's really good. I didn't think about that till now. Even like the mini stun against Egg could potentially save him, or Ice Shards to make the PL run around the Egg more. Who knows?
Tusk Phoenix was like a classic combo in the TI6 era, I think.
Yeah, absolutely was. Yeah, that was when we used to scrim that one.
Remember?
Yeah. That was the one with
That's
our duo support.
The Terrorblade. So they've got back-to-back Phantom Lancer counters. I think the Phantom Lancer is a really good choice so far for this game. I feel, it was for the first 3 pickups, Phantom Lancer felt great. Now he has to deal with Axe and Terrorblade, which you can still overcome, but it's definitely a lot harder game than it was.
What do you feel about... I don't know, I'm just a little slightly iffy on the Terrorblade. I think the Storm pick here is...
strong. Very strong.
And a spoiler. I'm sorry. There's gonna be a Storm.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right.
We've been drafting based on our screens and not...
There it is. You're totally right.
Weak disable on the enemy team. That is consistent with their whole draft. The only thing that's really good disable-wise is Axe Call. Past that, you've got a Snowball. Don't forget the Phoenix Egg. It can be useful. They've got Tusk Punch too, but definitely mostly just Axe Call. So I think that Storm pick there is pretty solid, because otherwise it felt like both lineups were very similar in terms of value.
Yeah. Terrorblade hates Storm Spirit. Right? It's like a big burst amount of damage. You do have, you can get Orchid before he has Manta, but even then, it's just like the Terrorblade can't do anything to Storm, and he can potentially die to Storm all the time.
And between like just the fact that they have an Earthshaker and a Storm on the same team seems... I was already worried about the Earthshaker for the Terrorblade, but now that there's a Storm and an ES on the same team, it's like if there's an Earthshaker anywhere on the map with a Blink late game, and Storm is like vaguely in the vicinity, that's very likely a dead hero if they're solo, and that sounds it makes it feel really hard too. Even for like Chappie or if Tusk is ever split pushing, it's like that late game Storm movement is actually so tough to play against sometimes.
Didn't Maiden used to play offlane at some point? Am I crazy about that?
Which player?
Maiden.
Not sure.
His Wikipedia says support, so maybe he's always been support. But I thought I saw him on offlane at some point. But yeah, so we're both in agreement then that Final Tribe better draft.
So I like some of their individual hero matchup stuff, but in terms of team fight, which is maybe the bigger thing, I would argue. Team fight wise, Phoenix ulti is still really huge, but they got to deal with Earthshaker and Winter Wyvern, and yeah, I guess I would say I like Final Tribes better. Yeah, I would commit to that. Well, we'll see how it works out. And here's your casters, Versuta and Droog.
They just mix and match the casters and co-casters. I didn't know that.
I mean, it's only a recent thing that we started doing more pairs.
Yeah,
in the last like 2 years, 3 years maybe. So I'm not too surprised, I guess.
Oh, they've got drinks too. The
flamingo things, yeah.
The flamingo holders. All right, as we head into the game, these damn animals, man. Production just won't stop with the animals. Empire versus a Final Tribe. We're going to have, looks like Final Tribe are set up in the bottom lane. They're going to make some sort of big invasion into the Radiant jungle.
Yeah, they were kind of waiting patiently at the start. They are invading slightly late. Possibly worried about a smoke initiation, perhaps, but... Henskin is going to get spotted, though, by the Tusk, and the path that he walked was maybe a little suspect. Because like he would never walk that way if he didn't have allies around in the area as well. So, I don't know, maybe they're not actually planning to get initiation, but considering they still have a runner there, maybe that was a mistake.
Do they... I mean, I figured the lanes would just be normal. There's no way that they want to run any other lanes but normal lanes, right? On either side.
Are you saying, like, are they going to try lane, basically?
I mean, just having the Terrorblade in your safe lane, having the Phantom Lancer in his safe lane.
It looks like they're lane... Are they lane swapping? Looks like Murano's going top. PL is going to be off lane, and they're going to put Tusk safe lane. Axe is smoking to lane swap faster, it looks like. Okay, so I mean, you want to put Axe versus PL, right? That's probably why they're doing this weird stuff. And
yeah, and you have
TB Storm though.
The TB in mid lane against the Storm.
Instead of what? I guess it would have been some like Weavers or something weird. I guess so. They've obviously planned for the. Well, they haven't really, I guess, because the Storm was last pick. But it's probably not that big of a deal, right? At least when you have meta, and then when you don't, if you're a little bit worried, you just jungle.
Yeah.
Toss getting 2 free last hits, dude. He's gonna be so happy. He's got an Orb of Venom too. Usually the Stout Shield, but not this game. I guess against an Earthshaker. Actually, it's PL Wyvern, but it makes sense.
Hanskin threatening to block Champion with Fisher. He's got to be careful when he uses Shukuchi here in this lane, just because if he's caught without it, Fisher into an arrow, definitely spell out his death.
Definitely.
But in return, they do have the really strong matchup, right, of the Axe versus the Phantom Lancer.
Yeah, and it definitely feels really good. Yeah, Arrow's just spamming out Splinter Blast. We saw a little bit of this at TI. Just get it level 1, just spam it so you can try to harass down the opponent if possible. As long as the support doesn't sit next to the core, it's not terrible to deal with, but in the right circumstances, it can be really oppressive. But I think it's like 100 damage level 1. They nerf it recently.
Yes, it is 100 damage. They
used to be 120, I think, or something.
I think they nerfed Arctic Burn enough times, right? And Wyvern fell out of favor.
Yep.
And then Wyvern kind of came back, and people realized, like, why do I go Arctic Burn when I could just Splinter Blast harass over and over again? Because you start off with so much mana, right? You can cast 5 different Splinter Blasts in lane without even having to worry about regen.
Pretty smart hero level 1.
It's kind of like the Silencer problem, right? When he was really popular a month or 2 ago, he just would come to lane and spam his Q, and he could do it like 6-7 times before he ran out of mana.
It was 75 mana level when I looked at it the other day. Now it's like 135 or something.
Yeah.
125. It's like way more.
I think even now, Silencer can do it 5 times with no regen.
Really?
Yeah, because he is such an early mana pool, much like Wyvern.
Guess I could see that. Basically just straight trading here. It's not often where you see a Phoenix look like okay at trading hits, but against a Wyvern it makes sense. Yeah. Wyvern's hitting for 44 on average, so.
A little bit of dive action here onto Era, who has the Battle Hunger on him. So if Miposhka actually gets any spins out of this one with the Illusion on top of him as well, he's just not getting the spins he needs, but maybe with the Fire Spirits, Era is going to burn out. That's going to be your first blood for Miposhka.
I wonder if he like juked that last Fire Spirit. Do you think he would have lived? I mean, it's only like, I don't know, maybe. He might have lived. Maybe. It would have been close.
Our task, Tusk, save. Oh, Jonas Safon really wants to go for it, but the turnaround Snowball is going to make him a little bit susceptible here to the damage. Barely managed to get the kill on the Tusk. He's going to take a lot of damage in return from Chappie, but Chappie is out of mana and Shukuchi on cooldown, so.
They both played that well, I think. It's always fun to watch little kills like that are where both people do such little damage, but they're just trying to outplay each other with those tiny little advantages.
Yeah.
Half of an attack being enough or something. So we'll see where the Tusk goes. He TPs to the Shrine. It looks like now he's roaming to check Rune. It doesn't end up being there. He's going to try to kill the Mirana now. We may catch this kill.
He's going to be able to get the Snowball, but not to the other side of things. Jonas Safon. Oh, still caught by the Ice Shards, though. That was barely enough damage.
Do you think he stayed where he was on purpose?
Yeah, intentionally close to the cliff to keep them away. Could be.
If so, that was a really good play. Then it was a bad play because he got Ice Sharded to death. Definitely could have dodged that one. The bugs were not the most relevant thing to the moment, but
I know I try and do that intentionally if I'm playing against like Pango or something. Hug the cliff so you get knocked over instead of just stuck in an area where you're getting chased down.
Because it pushes you a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Top lane, they're going to go again here on Jonas Safon. Picks up the Weaver inside of the Snowball, but thanks to Jonas Safon's bottle, he will manage to heal up a decent amount. The bugs are on him, though. Chappie's going to go for the kill. Does manage to get it underneath the tower, and even turns around for some damage on a Hanscan. Bottom lane, I guess we had a bit of action, but nobody died.
Pretty good last hits for Radiant side already. 23 on Chappie. He's the weak last hitter, and they've got 28 on Axe and 31 on TB. So TB is just owning. Which kind of makes sense, right? Because if you can conjure images, you just get more bonus damage, which means that you can actually power deny maybe, especially once you use meta. Whereas Storm, I mean, you can still last hit with Storm with like Remnant and Overload, but Overload is not going to clear the illusions very fast, I feel like. So maybe you could just deny so much more. I mean, it's not that much more. Maybe I'm over-exaggerating. It's only got 8, but it's got way more last hits. Maybe the quelling aspect or something. It's also got stupidly high armor, so Storm harassing him is just not good, unless he gets Remnants in melee range. 12 free gold.
Together, though, you Mirana and Earthshakers, I was about to say, I thought they were kind of splitting CS and doing a good job of denying there, but they're actually together at 28 CS.
Okay. That's a good point. I didn't notice that.
That's kind of even up with the Weaver.
Probably like fissuring creeps that are going to get denied otherwise, stuff like that.
Yeah. Main pushed back by another Splinter Blast. Wyvern's doing a really good job of making sure that the Axe... I think this Axe lane is super scary, and he's doing enough to make sure they don't get totally overrun. That is a nice Splinter Blast. That it will be able to block in the Hanskin a decent amount of time and run him over with that Snowball. I said Splinter Blast. There's too many frosty heroes.
I wasn't sure if I should correct you. I just want to be like, by the way, just so you know, I know it's not a big deal. It's okay, but you did say Splinter Blast.
But you screwed up.
I know you'd want to know so that you could maybe not make the mistake continuously. You know.
Tweet at me if I make too many spell name errors. I appreciate that.
Oh, that was a sick call.
The
that
call?
Was so cool. That was so cool.
That did a ton of damage to Frost as well.
Maposhka, he's a baller, dude. I mean, it makes sense that, because it also looked like he was going to contest the catapult. That's why it was so good. Because it was like, PL's like, all right, he's going to try to deny this, whatever, and he just calls him with creep. So that was so good.
And it's so hard to miss out on like the, top lane, Hanskin. Oh, nice arrow actually comes in, nails Chappie, almost enough to get the kill on the toss, but it looks like what, he salved?
I think so. I think I heard a salve there. This is like one of those moments I wish our in-game feed was behind. It would be so much better. We could always verify, you know?
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure it was a salve. I thought I heard one. Already a Vanguard on the Axe. Great timing for him. Top net worth of the board. Terrorblade right behind. And Frost shifting lanes, realizing that his lane just is not fun.
Yeah, now that Storm Spirit's level 6, level 7, he can play in jungle, but also rotate into some of the side lanes maybe. Get a gank here and there.
His TV's level 8 right now. He's got 3 meta, 4 conjure. He's blowing up towers.
And he's got a decent number of denies too. All that extra experience. This is a lineup that I would say for Empire does have to snowball pretty quickly.
I suppose that's true, but they are on a really good trajectory with with TB winning his lane like he is. I mean, this gank is over. So like the Storm just makes so much sense from like the mid game aspect. It's like, oh, there's no stuns, so he won't be pressured, and Orchid's gonna be great on so many heroes. But the laning, I didn't expect him to lose the lane quite this much. He's not like getting ultra stomped. I guess his net worth is actually equal to Terrorblade, so he's doing more than fine. But I don't know. Maybe I'm being too critical, but I just expected the Storm to be slightly more of a threat right now. But he'll get on line soon.
Yeah. It's definitely a game that Final Tribe will have to try and stall just a bit, especially until they have the Blink Dagger initiation of the Earthshaker, Diffuse the Blade on Phantom Lancer. There's definitely a prerequisite of items required for Final Tribe outside of the laning phase, whereas you look at the side of Empire, they're naturally going to get their Vanguard Blink on Axe just purely through laning phase. And that's kind of all they need, right? Phoenix is a hero that operates really well in team fights without any items. Arrow. Oh! It nailed Chappie, but there's going to be a snowball save. Jesse tries to come in with a launch. He will still be able to get right next to some of these heroes that are going to go for the Tusk first. Chappie actually turned around with all these bugs. He's going to try and go for the kill to Hanskin, but taking a lot of damage from Jonas Savon, does pops the time lapse, and now jumps himself away. Against 3 heroes, Chappie was trying to threaten them all. In fact, that is a lot of AoE damage there coming in from the Phoenix. His damage over time might be enough to kill Hanskin if they get Chappie on top of him as well. Turn around with the Fissure onto main. He gets popped by Jonas and Fon. Chappie still going to try and chase down the Storm Spirit. So the Phoenix effectively trades his life for that kill. And that is kind of worth it for Empire And just that little part, Frost actually coming in with the haste rune right now. Spots this Tusk instead. Doesn't go for either one of them.
Yeah, great rotation by the Phoenix there. That was turned still a good moment into an amazing moment. Killing Storm there, so great pickup. Really going to accelerate the Weaver too. I'm sure you got a bunch of gold from that. 381, and probably at least a level. Level 9 now in the Weaver. So good pickup. Storm's getting his Kaya now. Pretty close.
That really increases your kill power on that Storm Spirit when he does want to make these rotations. He actually went mid just to help the Phantom Lancer deal with this Terrorblade push. You could see the kind of priority that they're putting in protecting this mid tower, even bringing the Earthshaker over now.
I mean, it kind of makes sense, right? If he uses meta and they don't at least help clear the illusions, he's going to get like an abundance of them, like 2 or 3, and then he's going to get a whole bunch of tower damage. But if he just spends a little time there, it makes a big difference. And he's also assisting in his PL here in getting more farm.
Keeping the mid tower up helps protect their jungle, which they're obviously pretty reliant on. As you can see, both the Phantom Lancer and Storm utilizing that right now. Top lane, Jonas Fan. Not sure how many leaps he has up. They're going to try and go for the Ice Shards here. Echo Slam onto Chappie, but not enough damage from Hanskin. Kind of misjudged that a little bit, and now he may be forced to try and juke his way out and go for a TP, but doesn't actually have one. Still on cooldown. No mana either. Era with a nice Winner's Curse will be able to delay this up a little bit with the arrow onto Chappie. Nails it afterwards. Now with a snowball bringing the Weaver along. It looks like Hanskin will eventually be chased down as Chappie's going to go and run him down with a Shikuchi. Doesn't even risk it underneath the tier 2. Doesn't want to go for that. Maposhka almost catching Jonas Fan, but he did have some more leap charges left in the bank. Now Era throws a Tinker Ward there up in the high ground just to be able to spot his pursuers. He's going to try and hide his way deep in these trees, but Chappie's going to be able to find him. Now the snowball in pursuit as well, and Era won't be able to make it out of here alive. Met by the Culling Blade of Maposhka. They give it to the Axe, just to ensure he's got, well, he actually already had the gold for the Blink Dagger even before that kill. So he is rolling in the dough.
Gets him in their next lane a little bit faster, I guess. So benefit for that. Guaranteed kill too. Totally fine. 40 attack speed as well. Yeah, it's the right way to go this game. He's more than tanky enough. Increasing his damage is going to be solid. I mean, so far Maposhka is playing really good. He technically had an easy lane. He had a super favorable matchup, so maybe that's part of it. But
yeah,
just Empire across the board, just really covering each other well. The Tusk is playing amazing so far. That is Seiyu. I think he's been playing great.
Round 2. Or 3 or 4 of this Terrorblade trying to push this mid-tier 1 tower. The Wyvern's already set up to try and defend. They pop the glyph. But with the Phoenix behind, ready to go with the Supernova, I highly doubt they are going to be able to stop this. And sure enough, Kuman does manage to pick up that tower.
Gotta be careful about the Splinter Blast here, but it'll be all right.
Wrap around from the side. Maposhka, 2-man call. Now the follow-up with the Supernova as well as the snowball over the top. Now from the side, Chessie's trying to kill the egg, and he will be able to do so from the high ground. Now Era's going to take out for the Battle Hunger, it looks like. Won't be able to get that creep kill in time. Chessie jumping in, is able to help out Hanskin. Might be able to get a Tusk kill for himself. Tusk tucks him away inside of that jungle, but can't hide from Chessie, who picks up the double kill as a result. That was a great call, but it leads to very little but disaster for Empire.
Yeah, all because Storm is already basically jungling by some medium camp when the gank comes.
Yeah.
I mean, that's basically why I don't even see that many dire wards. I doubt they saw that one coming. So definitely a nice grab there. Do you feel like Chappie, I feel like he balls a lot more distance-wise, maybe? He's maybe a little bit less precise. I don't know if it's like a safer playstyle, but the way he plays Storm feels a little bit different to me than another Storm player. Might just be like I guess Blitz maybe would be better to ask, but
I think I have noticed that some of these Storm Spirits have been playing off of longer jumps lately. Maybe it's a recent thing.
I mean, like like when he balls in, for example, it's fine that he didn't land it exactly on the Tusk, but and then he went into melee range, but then he balled like 400 units away, and then he kind of balled like tangential again, kind of like keeping distance, sort of, rather than like spending all of his mana to get on top of the guy that needs to kill right now, and balling kind of in place to just maximize damage. It's like more poking kind of to like play out the fight. I feel like at least my initial impression is his playstyle is slightly different.
Yeah.
I guess.
Bottom lane, they did manage to catch Chappie.
Yeah. Storm TP'd bottom, I think, had 1 point in pull maybe.
And they had Echo Slam. They had to use that.
Okay.
to kill him. But
Gotcha. Yeah, level 13 now in Storm, so he's doing well. 3-1-1 on him. Net worth-wise, he is first on his team, but they're pretty far behind the TB and the Axe Knight. Do not expect the TB to slow down. Went Dragonlance, Inuyasha, now he's queuing up a Manta style, so he's getting his items so fast this game. There's basically no threat at all about Storm being like a TB counter here.
And he's going to be able to have the health talent as well if he wants it. So between that and the Manta, it really eliminates a lot of the single threats on Terrorblade. He can still be comboed for sure, but
Storm waiting for the rune here. Doesn't end up getting anything, but that
Axe Call does manage to grab Chessie. Supernova over the top. Now they don't get the Culling Blade, but they still get the kill.
I don't even know if that was a mistake to call him early there. I guess I think it's arguably safer that way because it does like 200 damage or something, right? It does 250 damage. The threshold is 325. So other than the resistance argument, you could argue that rather than like wait until the exact damage tick of Phoenix gets him low enough, just do the damage, knowing that he'll die within the stun there, or the initial call. It was a really good catch though. The like little 2-man smoke ganks are so valuable to the map because you don't necessarily see them coming, and just something like that, playing around a rune, expecting a Storm to want a regen or an arcane or something, gets you that kill setup.
Maelstrom for the Weaver.
It's 4-1-4. Chappie playing really well this game.
Attempted to go for the ward, but Miposhka is on point to be able to stop that. Fisher will do little to help out Era. So they'll keep their ward alive, and they'll keep their strong positioning for taking this off-lane tower.
Okay, Chappie queuing up a BKB next item. Makes sense. Needs some silent solutions. Oh, he's got Manta already, basically.
I guess that allows him to be able to play more aggressive on like the Earthshaker as well and stuff. Zip over from Chessie. Looks like they did manage to... Oh, no. Just a missed call onto Frost.
Yeah, that looked harder because I bet his smoke broke as he was going high ground, so...
Yeah.
More likely that the PL is able to get out of there, dodge that.
They really wanted to pick off because the Metamorphosis is already ticking down for the Terrorblade. They want to get this tier 2 tower. And it looks like they will. Final Tribe is just, seems like they're not well equipped to take team fights right now, so they may poke and prod with Wyvern or Storm trying to get a pick off on a support, but...
I mean, which makes a lot of sense, right? Because Storm is, as much as he can fight, he's not really a good team fight hero in the early game.
Right.
It's more like you'd rather get pick-offs or you'd rather show up to a gank here or there while continuing to free farm. And in some ways that his tempo kind of matches up with what a PL does. It's just a little bit more flexible. So definitely that group up, get a kill and push thing is really effective for Empire so far. If this translates to things like Aegises, then Storm might have a really hard time matching up against their timing window.
6,000 gold lead and 6 kills ahead, Team Empire. It's off to an early start with this Axe Terrorblade lineup. Getting the kills and pushing down towers. They only have 2 tier 2s left on the side of Final Tribe. Meanwhile, they protected every single one of their towers, which is where a large part of this net worth lead comes from. Because I think if you take a look at the CS, yeah, it's actually like Storm and Phantom Lancer are second and third.
Okay.
It's the fact that they're 4 towers in the hole pretty much at all times. Even as they get this tower, they're going to lose the tier 2 at top, it looks like. So.
Yeah. And the nice part is that everybody else on Empire is just not showing. They're in the area. I don't think they're under wards right now, but if they do spread out and show, or if they all start hitting tower, then it gives Final Tribe more information. Then they won't feel as confident to sit behind. They'd be more confident to not sit behind the PL. So it's like they're, just by being safe and making it seem like they're sitting behind their Weaver, they're still like free farming more or less by each taking an individual jungle camp.
And Final Tribe in turn can't be as efficient with their positioning and farming.
Yeah, especially because they're behind.
Right.
Their heroes don't necessarily jungle nearly as well. It's basically what Storm, PL, jungle super well. Mirana is slightly limited. Oh, got another promo code, guys.
That's right. Be sure to check out WePlay.tv/codes. Put in the code and you have an opportunity to be able to win some secret shop items. I saw some plushies there in the studio, as well as a Predator Series gaming laptop.
And them Dotakins, like the little adorable sleeping Dota characters.
Yeah, those are pretty cute.
They come with emoticons. It's very worth it. There's some. They're like literally quality emoticons too.
You're a big fan of the emoticons, aren't you?
No, I'm actually not. No, but
really.
But I found them all, and the ones that I got in the grab bags at TI this year, and I looked in it, and it's like 8 different emoticons, and they're all really good. And I had one because I hadn't purchased any. I got a free one the year before from the previous years, and I opened one, and I got the one that I wanted because I looked at them all. There's like a Earthshaker one or something, and I also got the very rare or something. It was great. I tweeted about it. Got super lucky potentially, but they're actually like really good emoticons. It's hard for me to remember all the codes and shit because there's so many. You know, it's like you got to find one you like and like sear that into your brain and use it often. Otherwise, you just forget in the moment. And I'm not gonna like if you like press enter and have to like search through it. By the time you put it through, it's like that was like 8 seconds too late. You know.
Yeah, I only use those any of those emoticons in lobby chat for that reason.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't put in the code. I look around for one that I like in response to the conversation that's happening.
Makes sense. BKB up on Weaver now. He's got the mana break talent 2.
Like if someone's whining on my team,
yeah,
I take the axe blowing his nose, crying. That one.
Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah, yeah, I think I have that one.
Did you say Tuskblink? You were talking about the Weaver items, but
I did not point that one out.
Okay.
No.
That's a big item pickup as well.
Yeah.
Hanskin has his Blink Dagger. Is there any other really important items that have been picked up? BKB for the Weaver, BKB for Terrorblade, Orchid Storm. That's about it. It really is like Final Tribe really have not gotten their core items yet.
Yeah.
So they can't fight. So they're going to have to give up the Aegis. And Kuman just gets bigger and bigger as a result. Now looking at Scotty as his next item.
It's like one of those heroes that's kind of anti-mage-like, where if he actually does have a really good laning stage, he can get super out of control.
Yeah.
And I think part of it is that X was so effective this game as a hero. He limited the PL's laning stage by a huge way. And once he instantly gets like Vanguard Blink Dagger, him plus one other hero can move around and start killing heroes very easily. But if you look on Final Tribe side, it's like Mirana can do these like arrow combo things, but Mirana kind of needs like another hero to set those up for her. So it's like if she does want to rotate, it requires like a support to set those up. And Earthshaker can, but he can't do that easily unless he gets Blink Dagger. So it's like they had all of these like things preventing them from having easy early rotations, unlike on Empire's side, because they got that good matchup and had the right hero to do it. So it's like they have all these like farm heroes, but they also need to create space, and they just couldn't until maybe now when they get Blink on Earthshaker.
They Moonlight Shadowed. I'm not sure. I couldn't tell from... He was only showing Empire's vision. I thought they would have seen Chappie, and I'm a little bit surprised they didn't go for that.
Probably because he has BKB.
Yeah, I guess so.
They would have had to kill him in like, what, 3 seconds? Or I guess it's Earthshaker combo into pull, which would be quite a bit, but...
Yeah. It had... Whatever it was, it'd have to be long enough for the Orchid to proc, basically, right?
Mm-hmm. Which they could do.
That extra damage.
But they're probably also worried about Tusk.
Yeah.
Or
Tusk
worried about
or
Axe.
Or, yeah.
Like, very, very hard to commit to that.
Yeah. And that was exactly the point, right? They did actually have 2 heroes behind that Weaver, so they are... whatever that judgment was, whatever reason, they didn't go for that pickoff. It was sound because it was not the kill.
It's a really good call, too, just because Weaver, this is like the moment where he still has all this advantage from not dying very often, and he's got BKB, which can save him in fights, but he doesn't have like a really survivable HP item. He's queued up Scotty. I don't know if he's going to change his mind later or not. He might. But once he gets like an item like Scotty, or he gets his HP more towards like 2k, then them getting those kills are so much harder. So for now, play a little safe, sit some supports behind him, and then later, as they continue their trajectory, that they can leave him a little bit more independent.
Right. It does feel like this is a big difference between the I liked that you were talking about the Axe and how he kept the Phantom Lancer's timing down, because it feels like the big difference between our series last night, or yesterday when we saw PL versus TB. So much of it was about the timing of the Phantom Lancer getting into like Heart and stuff before level 20 on Terrorblade. But if you have such a great laning phase that suffocates this Phantom Lancer, then this Terrorblade looks super strong.
Yeah. Love how he's splitting the illusions perfectly. He did that really quick too. Storm thinking about going in, but just trying to slow him down, give him some doubts here. Sunray usage here.
It honestly would not be a bad idea if they could actually kill this Terrorblade, even though he has Aegis, just to take away that Metamorphosis. Prevent him from taking the tower, but that's not the case. The tier 3 falls. Long ball lightning jump, not on the money. So Kuman will keep that Aegis alive a little bit longer.
The ability of him to abuse ball lightning in such a way seems very strong. And that was just like Clarity's bottle and the Kaya.
Yeah.
But I guess that's the benefit of them going high ground that early.
Disaster. Okay. We're back. Final Tribe have been split pushing a lot. They managed to take both the tier 1 and tier 2 in the off lane since we last checked up on towers. Now Jonas Fan may receive a Walrus Punch, but doesn't actually. Leaps away. TP's out successfully.
So he knew once the snowball hits, as long as he leaps before the punch does and gets in the trees, he can't gap close again because he already blinked and snowballed.
Right.
So maybe a mistake there by Say. You needed to either snowball in or you needed to blink in and punch instead of blink snowball.
Yeah, and then force the Mirana to leap.
In which case you get vision with ice shards and snowball chase.
Yeah.
So another lesson learned for Seiyu, I'm sure.
Frost does have 1,800 golds in the bank right now, so he's working towards that heart, really wants it. Meanwhile, Terrorblade is closing in pretty rapidly on level 20. It's almost 19. Also Scotty on the way, especially with these shrines dropping.
He is so farm demanding. It's like 5,300 gold ahead of where the PL is. Yeah, that's crazy good. Yeah. All right, looks like they're he's going to buy the ultimate orb, and maybe that looks like they're going to defend here. The Axe is moving in.
Managed to get the bugs on a Frost. He mantis and takes away the bug. Looks like they're also initiating on the top side there. Seiyu comes in, does manage to get the Walrus Punch on Jonas Fan with the BKB activated. Now Kuman didn't have the Metamorphosis, I'm guessing, or maybe didn't want to blow it to try and get a Mirana kill.
Yeah,
cooldown's off now, so
if he has like Scotty or something, yeah, he can maybe do it, but that would have been really difficult to secure that kill.
I think if he did intentionally hold it, it's a really smart play, right? Because he really wants to be pressuring that lane of Rax again. They're so strong right now in comparison to where Final Tribe's at, that using Metamorphosis on your side of the map is just not going to feel good.
Yeah, that's true. Cross a little bit, then pop it. Yeah, Storm's doing a lot of ball lightning here just to clear creep waves. Doesn't want to let them get anywhere near where his creeps keep an eye on the map there.
Yeah, he
jumps in.
Jump, and back he goes.
Now he's done this enough where I could certainly see Empire try to start predicting it. It's just really hard. If they had like an Earthshaker or something where you can ground target, it's a lot easier, but maybe Axe can get it, but it's got to be difficult.
Yeah, he's not only got to basically preempt the right position, but he also needs to be able to get the right timing because of the animation of call. Jonas Fan going to be caught by Miposhka. Blade Mail activated. Culling Blade not necessary.
That's a big kill. Mirana trying to finish. Oh, she does actually have her BKB finished. Wouldn't have done really anything further other than stop the magic damage Blade Mail reflect, but she's queuing up a Hex. That's basically what they need. They actually need an initiating instant stun outside of just Earthshaker. So maybe a bit of an issue with their draft this game, perhaps.
Shiva's going to make things a lot harder for pushing into that high ground. Storm Spirit's got that item. More damage, more AoE clear. Oh, the call initiation misses Frost there. And now the jump in from Chess. He tried to grab the boundary rune. In fact, he did. Miposhka is still separated on the wrong side of that fissure. They're going to jump in with Hanskin. They try and actually jump in with the Tusk to be able to save the Axe, but not able to do so. He actually got hit by the stun. Now the Winter Wyvern throws out the curse. Is going to be hit by the illusion. He may die to that illusion. In fact, he will. The real Kuman marches forward, but now with 2 of his allies dead, one of them buying back. Not gonna feel great for Empire here. Do they really want to use this Metamorphosis to go high ground?
He picks up level 20 at least, and he's got a Scotty finish, but it was kind of an interesting usage of Echo Slam, wasn't it? At first I was like, I got confused. Was Peel on the Radiant side? No, they just wanted to burst him really fast. And it makes a lot of sense because if he's going to commit that kill and Tusk shows up, there's a decent chance that he just catches him with the Aftershock Echo Slam stun anyways. And if he does that, boom, you guarantee the kill, interrupts the snowball, burst him down as fast as possible. It was a really good ulti usage there for Hanskin, I thought. The disable wasn't important. It was just all about burst damage.
Did somebody lose their bottle or something? I saw Phoenix kill a bottle by the secret shop. The Dire secret shop. It was just laying there on the ground.
If I had to guess, it's probably, well, maybe Storm picked up a gem. Storm does have a gem. He stole that from the Tusk. I'm guessing somebody put the bottle down. It's possible Storm put his bottle down, then rebought a new bottle.
Yeah. His bottle is super value on Storm Sphere, right? So.
Yeah. See, when you still have the fountain regen and all.
Yeah, that's smart. But you can... I thought you could pick up enemy bottles. Am I wrong on that?
I think you can, yes.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure the pro feeding strat to try and end the game faster is give the enemy team bottles.
Oh.
Maybe I'm wrong. Smoke up from Final Tribe. They don't have a whole lot of vision up here. They're just going to go into this high ground. The smoke's going to pop onto Air. They're going to spot Chappie as well as that blinking Tusk. Now, Chappie is going to immediately try and put damage onto Hanskin. Fortunately for that invis, they don't have the detection, but they do have Maposhka in the right spot with a sentry. Is going to be able to grab Hanskin. They take down the 2 supports. Now they chase Jonas Amfan as well. Now, he does have leap charges, so he shouldn't be forced into anything too dire.
That was perfect timing on the snowball there, right before Wyvern turned and used his ultimate. Would have kept him alive at least. Maybe even the Earthshaker too. I kind of like the Scotty on Weaver this game, I must say. It's like Maelstrom alone, keep it. Totally fine item as an early rush on Weaver. The BKB, he needs it. There's lots of disables, Earthshaker, etc. And then it's just, with Scotty, it kind of functions like a Diffusal Blade. It's not nearly the same damage, obviously, but it gives him like 750 HP. It gives him a stupid huge mana pool, gives him pretty decent armor, and it's like everybody's just permaslowed. It feels like actually such a big advantage. Like, whereas if it's like an Earthshaker attacking and he's like juking through trees, he's probably going to get a blink out if he's got bugs, if he doesn't have bugs on him, you know?
Yeah.
But with Scotty, it's like there's no way he's getting away.
Wait.
Maybe it's just because they're ahead that it feels so good, but...
You see this this item queued up for Chessie. He's going to go for Aghanim Scepter Storm.
Okay.
Because, I mean, he's got Earthshaker and Winter Wyvern.
Yeah, that's a good point.
They need to be able to get, like, just more control in general. And here's another big one. It can hit Weaver. Well, Weaver doesn't have a Lincoln, so he could have hit Weaver anyway.
Yeah, because
I forgot.
Your point being that it wouldn't be a targeted stun.
Yes.
It would be a AoE technically.
Yeah. That's normally the really cool play of Storm versus Weaver, but Chappie didn't have to go Lincolns this game. Playing on the high ground, Final Tribe. Chappie's going to be able to spawn out Era here, and they're going to go for the Walrus Punch. Quick kill, allowing... Ooh. No, he actually does manage to get it off the Cold Embrace in the back line. Hanskin, they're going to go for... Ooh, nice Supernova there to be able to dodge that stun. Also, helping ensuring that Seiyu might be able to make it away from Chessie's. He can't really commit. In fact, he's so low on mana. He's completely out of mana now. Chappie's going to turn. They're going to be able to kill Frost, and he spots Chessie with no mana. Might be able to catch up to him. Battle Hunger, he's got enough for one little tiny jump, but it's not going to get him very far. This damage over time is going to be enough to kill him. Jonas Amfan spotted out Scotty and Battle Hunger, slowing him down significantly. But thanks to the buyback of both the Phantom Lancer and the Storm Spirit, Empire will be rebuffed here. They don't want to get too close, but now they're separating quite a bit. You see this. Kuman, he's alone for a little bit of time here. Frost's going to try and run it down the arrow. No! Oh, no! He manted into it! The real Kuman is struck by the arrow, and now he needs to try and get off the center. Won't be able to. That's going to be his first life. Frost has got to back off, though. The rest of the Empire is here now. Maposhka is going to be completely burned out of mana. Winter's Curse is going to be laid onto him. That'll finish him off and slow down the retreat of both Kuman as well as Maposhka. Now, Maiden jumps away with the Icarus Dive. He's actually silenced, though, at the last second by Chessie, so he couldn't stop that Icarus Dive. Now Kuman's still going to be chased down. Another Diffusal Blade from Frost, and Hanskin is getting closer and closer, but fortunately, Kumin is not going to be that slowed down. Final Tribe will just have to content themselves with that Tier 1 tower and a decent number of pickoffs, both the Axe and the Phoenix being notable kills.
Dude, what a glory arrow, though. That was,
yeah,
like, that was just a beautiful arrow, regardless of even the slow command. And I'm not even confident. The Manta obviously was a little unlucky, right? He could have gone to either of the two directions, but if he doesn't Manta, that arrow still hits him. That's how great of an arrow was. And that was like a 5-second max duration one, too. Great choice for the Final Tribe there to take a fight. I was not confident in them engaging in that way, even though they were spread out, because they are behind. But they got a lot of value out of it. It was a Storm buyback. It was a PL buyback as well, right? It cost them a lot, but they got some valuable levels out of it.
And I think it's one of those situations where you have to do something with your buyback, because what happens if Empire resets and then they go high ground again with the next metamorphosis? You got to change the game if you're Final Tribe. You still are not in a winning position when it comes to team fights, so you got to take certain risks.
They still haven't killed Terrorblade yet either. I mean, that was just an Aegis death. It was big, but not quite. They don't get the gold. They don't get the he doesn't even have a kill streak. 2-0-2.
I was looking at the same thing. I was like, hey, he's probably got healthy kill streak. No, only 2 kills.
Murdered many creeps, a 488 creep kill streak here. It's got Butterfly just finished, though. He did spend his buyback money, but I think that's super reasonable this game. Like, he's so far ahead.
Yeah.
He's got tons of HP. He's got tons of solutions against silences and things. And just having evasion and Sunder for 0 mana cost, like, it's going to be an uphill battle for them to be able to kill Terrorblade anyway, so absolutely better to buy out.
He's going to run into Era. Era immediately flies away before Empire can get some sort of initiation. I think that was his night vision advantage. No, he doesn't even have the night vision talent. So he must have spotted Maiden somehow, but they didn't see him or didn't try for it either way.
He tried to catch the Storm in this case. Good one for the Axe call, didn't catch. JK, that hasn't happened yet. This one, watch.
Oh. Good try, good try. Nobody on their team really gets... Oh, no. Maiden has Euls. So they do have some form of an instant disable.
Yeah, that's a good idea. That would work.
So now you don't have... with the Phoenix, you don't have to worry about the timing. Now you just have to worry about the right place. You have to be somewhere in range of where the Storm Spirit stops his ball.
Pretty cheesy way to defend the base, I must say.
Yeah.
But this has existed ever since like people started figuring out like Chen sent back with Storm. But the main reason this works is because Storm, one of the recent buffs in the last year or two that he got was he got an above average turn rate. So it's easier for him to like ball in, turn around, and ball again compared to an average hero. So slightly faster. I doubt it's more than like 20 or 30% faster to turn around than an average hero, but it definitely helps as a way that he can do this kind of endlessly against the right heroes.
But Pochka sitting behind Kuman, waiting for that opportunity to jump in. Looks like they're just going to brute force this bottom lane now. The backdoor protection gone by pushing through mid. Bottom lane also pushing in.
So much damage. And he's spreading out the creeps now. I think he's checking for vision, maybe? I'm not sure.
Arrow, Kuman steps forward to make sure that doesn't land. Hanskin also trying to go for the Fissure block in, but Kuman has already done his work. He's taken that lane of racks. Doesn't need to overextend.
Maybe looking for like Axe sitting in invis kind of a thing. Pop Shiva's hold gem.
Sure.
You can basically see where the enemy initiators are. But they weren't able to find anything important, so lose the racks, not a surprise. But they are holding it okay considering how careful Empire has been this whole time. Weaver going to push out top, so we'll see Empire disengage briefly here.
As they see Weaver in the top lane, they're immediately Final Tribe. They're going to push forward, see if they can catch somebody. And they do catch the Tusk, who managed to blink after the snowball. Maybe he's... no, they still have the scythe. Who's... Storm's got a scythe?
No, it's the bottom.
Oh, wow.
Yep. It's not a bad idea. My reasoning before was that, it's the initiation that they kind of needed. Something to set up other than Earthshaker or like Storm Pull. I think it's a good option. He's going to go more damage afterwards, most likely.
Tusk has been pretty scary when it comes to his counter initiation, being able to save a hero. So him being dead is definitely an opportunity for Final Tribe. That's why they're going to smoke up and sweep across the map, see if they can find somebody else to be able to kill and just start this snowball of one by one killing these heroes. Moonlight Shadow goes down as the smoke pops. They do actually find Kumin here next to the Roshan. Now he's going to pop his BKB turn and see if he can kill somebody, but Hanskin's already been cold embraced, and Frost won't be able to pursue, it looks like, but instead they found somebody else with a Storm Seer zipping in. They've already killed Main. They found Chappie as well. Chappie couldn't get the time lapse off fast enough. There was no reason he couldn't use it sooner.
He could have gotten it off. I don't think he expected to die that fast, which I don't blame him too much. He's been very far ahead this whole game, but all of a sudden he just gets cleaned up. He's finished Mjolnir since we last saw Scotty. He's queuing up a Radiance. That's how he's going to try to deal with the PL. I mean, he doesn't have the Battle Fury advantage that a melee hero would, so it's not a terrible idea, but it was just a really good team fight by the Final Tribe. I kind of liked how Hanskin didn't Echo Slam there, because he could have maybe tried for it. Chance that he pops BKB, but between a Glimmer Cape and the Cold Embrace, they guaranteed the BKB gets used, and then maybe they can do a play after BKB ends and like be reliably guarantee kill. And even by doing that when they were separated, that also gave them the opportunity for Potom to initiate and Hex the one hero that Storm killed, Phoenix, I believe. Hex the guy, super long ball lightning, that guy dies instantly, and then it was just Chappie making a mistake. So a little unforced error, but just every step of that whole 30-second engagement was really well executed by Final Tribe.
Maposhka has been waiting for a long time. Now they spotted him, managed to get the dust on him. Maposhka can't really blink away. Now Frost is going to try and stay out of Maposhka's hands if possible, but he won't be able to kill him with just his illusions alone, so they're going to have to give up on that kill. Maybe they fake the back and go back in with a Moonlight Shadow.
More or less. Top lane pushing a little bit. They'll cut the creep wave. Should be fine there. And they're actually moving out on Empire side. They want to potentially take this fight.
Frost is spotted here, but it's actually Aaron. The backline is going to be grabbed by Maposhka. Gets off the Cold Embrace. The snowball's coming in, but Frost is going for the backline as well. He tried to force the action onto Maiden. Does manage to get the Supernova out. Supernova almost immediately going to die here. Won't be stopped by any stuns. Now Frost at half HP with Chappie knowing the real one, but a nice pull in from Chessie. Follow up, Echo Slam on the two of them. They can actually get the arrow on Kumin as well with the Scythe device. Maybe they can blow him up, but he's actually not having any damage. They just turned around and finished off both the Earthshaker as well as the Mirana, who both bought back already. Now Frost, he was outside of that team fight for a long time now. Had Doppelganger turning onto Kumin here with the Winter's Curse. The illusion's actually beating on the real one. Kumin, he may die here. The snowball comes through, and he actually saves the Terrorblade. Can he get the Sunder off?
Oh.
He can't get it off. He couldn't find the real one.
I don't think he cared at that point. It's like, cast a Sunder on an illusion. Who gives a shit, you know? But finally goes down.
Did he not have the time to cast Sunder? I felt like he did.
It was very close.
Oh. No buyback for him. No buyback for the Tusk either. So this looks to be Final Tribe's Roshan, which they really do need. They blew up a couple of buybacks themselves.
Man, Final Tribe's executing so well.
Yeah.
In terms of skill usage, like, the pull felt weird to me. I was like, why is he pulling there? It's very bizarre. But then getting the two-man Echo Slam and also having the arrow come in at the same time, that was pretty impeccable.
I think the only thing that prevented them from just being wiped in that moment was the fact that Frost had already been forced away. They just didn't have any damage to follow up all those disables.
I mean, even if he's right-clicking the TB, he's not going to kill him. He doesn't have a Monkey King bar yet. He has a Butterfly himself. TB has like 50 armor right now, so like the arrow is cool, but it did only buy them time. And if they maybe had more of an advantage, sure, that maybe they try to kill him, but they just don't have the magic damage just yet. Weaver going to change his build slightly and go Monkey King bar instead of the Radiance that he was thinking.
That makes sense because all the Phantom Lancers build Butterfly against the Terrorblade, and this is no exception here for Frost, who's got Heart, Butterfly, and Cheese in his inventory. They gave the Aegis, of course, to the #1 Aegis hero in the world, Storm Spirit.
Weaver's damage is still very magic-based, which is actually quite good this game, I think. Against PL, super high armor, just do magic damage. Against Cold Embrace, do magic damage.
Yeah.
It's not bad. Only downside is maybe detection, but not that that's involving his build at all, but if they can see the enemy heroes, he should be able to get kills on them.
Try to catch Chappie. Already got his BKB off, though. Zips away from Maposhka as well.
Yeah, they know there's wards. Although Cheppy also reacted pretty well. I don't know if there's a ward for both of them. I think Cheppy just reacted fast. Honed his skills from pressing Shadow Amulet, I guess.
Bottom lane's going to get pushed out by the Mirana. Actually, it looks like Maposhka just TP'd down to the shrine area. He's going to try and catch the Mirana while he's pushing out that lane. Barely doesn't get there in time, but they do still have the vision of Yonasamfan, so he can still catch him. Does manage to get the call. Yonasamfan is dead.
Wow. Yeah, it's the power of Axeman. Like his items individually are not very gank heavy, but the more damage items they get, the more the Blade Mail is going to do back to them. So it's like just the power of Axe. Just the anti-carry. Doesn't matter if you're behind. It's like if you get the right call, it's a dead hero.
No, Empire. They know there's no buyback on the Mirana. He died in that one big engagement around the Roshan pit. They are risking going into an Aegis and Cheese fight, though. So even though it's 4 versus 5, two of those heroes do have multiple lives, and they're trying to go into a Storm Spirit next to his base. They manage to get a good AoE, force out the BKB from Kuman. Now they can retreat if they want to. Frost is actually going to go for the supports in the back line. Now the entire team's going to turn on to Frost, including Maposhko, managed to get a really good call, as well as that Supernova. Now Frost's going to try and kill that egg as quick as possible. The snowball came in, stunned him up a little bit, and that is a successful egg explosion. Now Frost, he does still have a decent amount of HP. He's going to go for main, force him to Icarus dive once again. Storm zipping in, does manage to get call onto only illusions here, while again, Frost just getting farther and farther away from Empire. This heart is doing so much work. He just keeps on regenning up more and more HP, and Chappie's struggling to be able to find one now. He's burned out of mana, gets the time lapse off, and can't really commit any further. Icarus dive has already been used on this Phoenix, so he doesn't really have a way out. Main's already dead. And Chappie, who's still sticking around, has to be careful now with Hanskin joining the pit. Maposhka managed to get the call in. The Echo Slam goes down before Maposhka can actually get that off. And he managed to control Maposhka long enough for Frost to be able to get away, but he still managed to kill that Storm Spirit. No. It's an Aegis, though. Maposhka is going to get hunted down by this Storm. No, Chessie wants the more important hero. He really wants to be able to kill Kuman here, who has that turnaround with the Sunder. Actually kills Chessie. Oh, no. Kuman. He might be able to win this fight entirely on his own, it looks like, as Frost won't be able to make the commitment anymore. A buyback on the Storm Spirit. Another costly death there for Final Tribe.
He was even thinking about his talent a lot, too, on the TV. I think he skilled it at the start of the fight by the mid-tier 2. Yeah. He's like, all right, I'm probably going to need Sunder cooldown here. Really unsure about it, but it pays off there big time. Grabbing the Storm. Maybe he should have committed to the Axe instead, but they just don't have that much single target damage. They have good single target damage, but most of it's physical. So it's a little hard for them to burst down Terrorblade in these crucial moments.
Right. That's where they need these MKBs. Rana's trying to build one right now.
I mean, even Storm maybe could use one. I don't know if that's insane to say. It kind of is because he doesn't have the best attack speed right now.
I think maybe they just try and force BKB, and then he gets Bloodthorn. And Bloodthorn's the Terrorblade.
Yeah, you're actually completely. Yeah, there's no reason to get MKB ever when you just have a Bloodthorn. Yes.
I like the way that they force the BKB. I'm just not sure about. Good play by Frost. I'm just not totally sure about the Frost going deep. You know, it actually worked out okay for him. I thought he was super dead the moment he got called by Maposhka.
Yeah.
But it felt like, oh, you force the BKB. Now just reset.
Yeah, he was consistently playing really well. He's like setting tempo, so he's like escaping left, but it didn't really matter because he knew he's like, oh, I'm just buying a little bit of time. I can play around this. I've got cooldowns to abuse. His game sense has definitely been really, really good this game.
He is going Abyssal Blade, next item.
Yeah.
He's still, it's not a guarantee pickup, though, because I keep on seeing Lotus Orb being placed on a Kuman, so.
I mean, Bash alone is still useful this game, especially against like Axe. You can bash him while he calls you. No matter what, you're going to be attacking fast with Monkey King Bar, so you could potentially get a bash at the right moment on Terrorblade. I think it's definitely good.
Era gets good vision, and they have the high ground if Final Tribe can actually just get up here, but Maposhka, he's going to make his way. They know he's somewhere in these trees. Hanskin's trying to find him right now. He activates his Shadow Blade. They're going to stick near these sentries now. Looks like an Ice Shard spotted Hanskin, so he had to blink away.
I think it was a sigil spot of the supports. They both happen to be kind of waiting in the same trees, so just good usage there by Tusk. So much is about the initiation here. Got to be really careful on both sides. But I would say it's a little easier for Final Tribe to execute. Like, this is the part of the game where they have the Earthshaker advantage, the Storm Spirit advantage, the Wyvern advantage. If the fight is very spread out, it is, at least for now, mobility-wise, in Final Tribe's favor. Whereas Empire kind of wants everybody in the same area. They need, like, Axe Call on multiple people. They need, like, Supernova to, like, blow when everybody's committed 5v5 kind of.
Right.
Which feels harder for Empire to get an ideal team fight to me.
Especially, like, outside of Dire Space, right?
Yeah.
If they can actually get in a position where they're pressuring towers, then the fight becomes almost simpler, I think, in a way, for Empire.
Storm doing his ball stuff once again. Is he turning his... Can you turn your hero around
Yes.
while you're ball lightning?
You can turn your hero around during ball lightning.
That's broken.
Yeah.
No wonder this works.
Yeah.
I thought it was about turn speed only, but I guess I've noticed that before because the arrow always turns when he balls.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not random. It's literally just cast animation of ball lightning. Wow. I mean, again, there are solutions. There's items. Any instant Hex or Yules would be able to stop it, but...
It's our Frost, the Phantom Lancer, who's going to be the one. Oh, they found Hanskin. That's a big pickup now. We're going to have our Phoenix dive in, trying to get the damage onto Hanskin, but he does have that Aghanim Scepter, so he'll be able to jump himself out of danger. And Maposhka having to deal with Frost right now, needs some cover from Maiden. Era looking for that re-engage now with the Winter's Curse, but doesn't have the Blink Dagger up for another 7 seconds.
Storm looking for like a TP in support, I think.
Doesn't find anybody inside that Roshan pit.
I mean, did they lose anything in that fight? It was just a BKB on Axe, so it wasn't even a big deal. I mean, like when you saw Earthshaker get initiated on, he doesn't have damage items, so Blade Mail doesn't matter. And that's where Axe's lack of damage really showed. So that had to be like Axe with follow-up was the only way that was going to work, actually.
Yeah.
And once they realized that and didn't overcommit, Final Tribe was always going to be in the advantage there.
And Aghanim Scepter is such an incredible survivability item at that point, right?
Yeah.
Because normally all this damage over time, stopping your blink, now Earthshaker's in an awkward position, but...
It's like 900 range 4 staff in any direction.
Oh!
He saw him.
They saw him. Maposhka. They immediately, they panic right away because their cores aren't anywhere close.
Both people are like, oh shit, I wasn't expecting to see you here. Get out! Everyone run. Those are always great moments.
What is with the game one? Game ones of today's series have been pretty interesting.
I don't know, maybe meta understanding is strong enough that there's a lot of consistency or something.
Yeah. I mean, seeing as we're seeing the same kind of heroes over and over again, definitely feels like the meta for these two regions, CIS and Europe, is well defined, and therefore everybody kind of the draft unfolds, I think, as both teams kind of expect. Just small twists and turns, not anything major.
Maposhka always waiting to see if he can get a pick off. I'm sure that the Mirana is the easiest one to grab still, but due to the Hex, she doesn't have a defensive item really outside of BKB, so definitely reflects a lot of damage back to herself. And it's mostly magic, actually, with the Monkey King Bar Maelstrom.
Oh, yeah.
If he BKBs and gets called, then it's not a big deal, but that's the guy Axe wants. I don't think he can kill Phantom Lancer at this point, I'm sure.
And I don't see him grabbing the Storm Spirit either at top lane. I think that's kind of what he's waiting for, but...
Storm doesn't even do that much damage. Just
True.
like Shiva's Orchid, Kaya, Ags. That's not what damage. Especially
Frost.
the Legion.
He's going to get called here now. Cold Embrace is going to be able to save him a lot of time. They try and go in with a Snowball as well to be able to keep the stuns on Frost, and they are being able to chain stun him to about half HP, but now he's getting away thanks in part to the Moonlight Shadow. They have the vision, but he doppelgangers down to the low ground. Trying to pursue with Maiden, won't be able to do it. Storm is currently healing right now in the fountain, so maybe this is a good time for Empire to completely back out before the Storm can zip back in. They're going to try and find Frost still. Yonosafon barely outside of that call, but still the Weaver rips him apart pretty quickly. And now with the illusions coming in, Cold Embrace is going to be able to buy Yonosafon some time there on that high ground. Now the Winter's Curse laid onto Chappie. The Terrorblade rips his ally apart, and he is actually quite low now. Kumin needs to be able to get off a good Sunder here pretty soon. Gets off the Reflection, game lags, and he's dead before he can get off the Sunder once again. They've caught Maiden as well. He zips into Roshan, who one-shots him. Okay, I'm gonna offer something here, Kevin. You tell me how plausible you think it is. I think maybe Kumin is having such a hard time with the lag he causes by Reflection, he's not getting Sunder off.
You think so?
I mean, that's twice now he hasn't gotten it off, and
I wasn't looking for Sunder that fight. I didn't really notice, I guess. It was like he might have been bashed. That's very easy to miss.
Sure.
Not sure. What the fights feel like to me, though, is that the Final Tribe is much better at picking and taking the fights. Yeah. They are super good at not overspending resources. The only thing they wasted in the previous engagement in the jungle was Echo Slam. I mean, they wasted some time, some HP. Storm jumped in, had a bad Electric Vortex, but it didn't matter because they didn't commit that much. And then they just go back and fight again. Or at least almost get initiated on and then react well. DD as well. Oh, man. He's going to just shred buildings.
This, I mean, it's been that way for a while, but you're seeing now how Reflection isn't really stopping this Phantom Lancer anymore. Once he had Heart, it became a little difficult. Once he had Butterfly, became exceptionally hard. Nice jump in here from the Stormseer, revealing a couple of heroes might be able to find these supports. The Enchant Totem, they managed to get the call onto 3, though. Maposhka is setting this up for a lot of damage out of the Sunray as well from Maiden. Meanwhile, the creeps are going for those tier 4s. Hanskin needs to try and get out with a snowball through him. Will be able to execute. Chessie has to jump himself away. They need to be able to get back to their base, actually, just to be able to defend their throne right now. In pursuit, managed to get the long call out from the axe onto the Frost Phantom Lancer. He's actually going to turn and go for the... He just burns out all the mana of this this Phoenix. He won't be able to dive himself away, but another call comes out from Maposhka. They found the real Frost, and with Kumin there, Cold Embrace. He's going to be able to get off another Doppelganger potentially, but a well-timed punch from Seiyu makes sure that that doesn't happen as the Cold Embrace fades.
Very smart, very smart. Man, the axe calls were so big in this engagement. That was the most impactful one, was the one right by the fountain. Like the 3-man call, they all died so fast. Was that who else died in there? Somebody died in there. PL barely survived initially, and the Urshik Gradachies. I don't remember if it was Storm or Marana. Not quite sure, but
Marana bought back, so probably her.
Probably Marana, yeah.
And then Hanskin also died when he got snowballed through. He didn't die to the call, but
that's right.
Basically.
Right. I mean, I'm definitely thinking about Refraction as well. Like the fact that this PC lagged, and we genuinely lost frame. I'm sorry, it wasn't this PC. We're getting a feed from the WePlay tournament or whatever.
Yeah.
But either way, the fact that PC froze temporarily is kind of worrisome, because regardless of like average pro player quality or whatever, if computers are freezing for like a second or two, that is genuinely a huge issue, actually.
Yeah.
And the fact that this is on a cooldown of 6 seconds.
every 6 seconds, everybody just takes a little bit of a break.
It's
a 1
actually,
second break.
It's actually crazy. But outside of the PC freezing, Reflection really not good against PL. Ever since like the ability to dispel it with Doppelganger or Manta, it's like it's really not a huge threat.
Yeah.
It just keeps the illusions busy.
Oh, nice 2-man Fisher. Now the jump into the backline. What a beautiful pull-in! And the Echo Slam to follow it up. They're going to have all these heroes in a tight little AoE. They're going to lay the damage. Both it's going to be Tusk and Phoenix. Now the Weaver's going to die as well. Immediately buys back a time-lapse into this fight. But the Winter's Curse onto Kumin is going to hold him in place. Chessie's out of mana, though, on the top side. He needs to be able to jump away from that Weaver. Kumin, controlled up by the Enchant Totem. Again, needs to be able to Sunder. Gets one off on Illusion, but it's just not a whole lot of HP. He needs to be able to get another Sunder off in a second, but Chessie runs him down with a ball of lightning. Now to come in, Chappie, controlled up. I think that might have been an arrow from Yonosafon. Caught the Weaver, and that is Empire dead. 3 heroes, no buyback. A Terrorblade, who does have buyback, but no Metamorphosis. It's going to be a limited defense.
Man, he bought back time-lapse, too. I couldn't believe. Look at this pull here. Everybody going in. There's the Echo Slam. He didn't have Fissure, so was only able to do an Enchant Totem follow-up, but Chappie legit bought back time-lapse back into that fight and then died back again. Like, I really don't think he should have committed there.
It was a bad fight. The moment that pull happened into the Echo Slam, I'm not sure if you recover that.
I mean, he killed the Storm. I don't know what the delay between the Storm and the Chappie buyback was, but I'm sure he should have been able to realize Storm's going to buy back, get back in this fight.
He bought back and did kill the Storm as a result.
Wait, the buyback was how he killed the Storm?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, in which case, totally fine.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I just assumed that he bought back, tried to fight to save TV, still died. All right. Is this is it over?
It's thrown.
It's over?
It's thrown.
No
I don't think they
meta?
have so much physical damage. They're going to try and stall things up. They do find the real Frost here with the Metamorphosis. He just doppelgangers around. The Reflection is just slowing down the game, but it's still going to be the throne bit by bit dying. Again, just with only 2 heroes, very difficult for Empire to find a feasible defense.
Man, what a clip moment there. Beautiful pull finally for Chessie there. I mean, the fissure basically set it up. It was a fissure. There was no follow-up. They were kind of like, okay, whatever. And then Chessie just had a good guess with the Shivas, spotted everybody. 4-man disable into Echo Slam. Beautiful fight there. And a favorite draft by Team Empire, apparently.
That is, how many times have we seen Phantom Lancer beat Terrorblade now?
I genuinely think that TB is not, I would not give him an advantage against PL. It's like, it's okay. It's like, it's playable on both sides, basically, is what it looks like. But it doesn't, ever since Reflection lowering attack speed went away, that one was huge, actually.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's dispellable, it is not a big deal for PL to deal with that with low doppelganger cooldown at all.
Yeah. It's like, you get really strong if you're ahead and you get level 20 talent, but then the timer's just taken on you. Don't let the Phantom Lancer get his tank items. Don't let him get level 25. It just feels like one little mistake and your timing of the Terrorblade is gone.
Yeah, and he picked up the Sunder talent. I don't think I've ever seen somebody go the opposite for Terrorblade. I'm not saying he should have, because it's not like they could just easily high ground, considering that Storm could just push out waves. But what's it, 300 Metamorphosis attack range? I don't know if that's worth getting. I'm not sure. But that would be kind of, I mean, I feel like he needed like he needed like a Daedalus or some shit on TB. He needed a way to like blow heroes up, and he did not have that. Like sell Hurricane Pike or something at some point, or maybe you get the attack range talent and you just buy a Daedalus or something like that, and then you just start blowing people up, because at that late in the game, everybody has tons of options: Glimmer Capes, Yule Scepters, Ghost Scepters, Blink Daggers. There's like Cold Embraces. You need to be able, like the power of Daedalus sometimes is that you can just kill somebody really, really fast when they don't expect it. And I think a TB at that stage of the game needs some unpredictability like that to guarantee fight wins, in my opinion. And he needed Butterfly. I think the only item he could drop is Hurricane Pike.
All right, well, that's it for Game 1. A strong performance by Team Empire, but not good enough to be able to claim victory here. We are going to go to a break, but we'll be back with Game 2, Team Empire versus Final Tribe.